And the American people do have other concerns that we ought to be thinking about and talking about.
Respectfully, Madam Secretary, I think...
The moment Condoleezza Rice stepped onto The View, something felt different. The show is usually packed with interruptions, strong opinions, and a bit of chaos. But when Rice began speaking about the January 6th attack, the tone shifted. She didn't play politics. She spoke plainly, calling the attack exactly what it was, a direct threat to law and order. Then, just when the conversation seemed like it might get stuck in the past, Rice did something unexpected. She turned the focus to what Americans are facing right now: inflation, high gas prices, and the daily struggles families deal with. It was clear she didn't come for drama. She came to talk about what truly matters. When Sunny Hostin and Condoleezza Rice shared their views, it was clear they came from very different backgrounds.
Past will become prologue if we don't find out exactly what happened January 6th.
And we will.
So it's not time now.
We will find out.
We must find out before moving on.
Sunny's debate style is loud and fast. She often takes control of the conversation, jumping in to make her point. Condoleezza Rice, by contrast, brings a quiet authority. As a former Secretary of State, she stays calm, focused, and never has to raise her voice to be heard. While Sunny leads with strong opinions, Condoleezza responds with precision and logic. She's no stranger to hard conversations, especially under pressure. That contrast made their exchange unique. Condoleezza wasn't just another guest. She brought balance and perspective. The View is known for its loud, fast-paced discussions, and this episode followed that pattern. The usual drama was there, with Sunny jumping into every pause. But when Condoleezza spoke, the energy shifted. She didn't get rattled by the noise. She addressed the January 6th attack with calm authority. Then, rather than argue endlessly, she turned the focus to real-life issues like inflation and gas prices. This wasn't a typical View moment. Condoleezza led the conversation, reminding the panel that political drama shouldn't drown out what people are truly facing. And when she said to Sunny, "Respectfully, let me finish," the room went quiet. This clearly wasn't just another debate.
You're going to overcome it, and you are going to be anything you want to be. And that's the message that I think we ought to be sending to kids. One of the worries that I have...
Sunny wasn't ready for someone as composed and direct as Condoleezza Rice. As Sunny tried to interrupt, Rice stood her ground calmly but firmly, insisting on finishing her point. She wasn't trying to silence Sunny just to make a statement. She was simply staying focused on what really matters. With a steady tone, Rice brought attention to the real issues: rising inflation, gas prices, and the daily struggles families face. Her calm presence stood in sharp contrast to Sunny's frustration, creating a tense moment where even the rest of the panel went quiet. You could feel the shift. Rice wasn't just holding her own, she was leading the conversation. Sunny is known for interrupting, making bold claims, and guiding discussions her way. But those usual tactics didn't work on Rice. After Rice calmly shared her points, backed by facts, Sunny was left reaching for a response. It was tough to watch her try to regain control, but Rice's logic left little room to push back. Sunny's usual dramatic style, something that often grabs attention, completely fell flat. Rice didn't engage in the noise. She stayed grounded, clear, and focused on solutions, which quietly pushed everyone at the table to reconsider the tone of the exchange. Even the rest of the panel seemed to realize this wasn't just a debate. Rice was delivering a reality. Check. And then came something rare for that show. The audience clapped.
Education. Their children are in school 7 hours. That's a very formative period.
And it wasn't just a polite round of applause. It was real, spontaneous, and full of energy. After Condoleezza Rice spoke about the everyday struggles Americans are facing, like inflation, rising gas prices, and making ends meet, the crowd responded loudly. This reaction had nothing to do with politics or party lines. It was about clarity and common sense. Rice didn't deliver her message with flash or anger, just calm, focused truth. And the audience felt that. This wasn't the typical clapping you hear after a dramatic exchange. This was appreciation for someone bringing the conversation back to reality. The atmosphere in the room shifted. What started as the usual chaos became something more focused, more grounded. It was a rare moment of truth on The View, and the audience let it be known they were here for it. But this moment wasn't just about two women debating politics. It pointed to something bigger. Shows like The View often get caught up in the noise, rehashing past political fights and fueling controversy. But Rice's presence reminded everyone of what really matters to most people: job security, high prices, and day-to-day survival. While Sunny Hostin focused on past political events, Rice stayed in the present. She talked about the real issues people are facing right now. And that made this more than just a personality clash. It became a clash of priorities. Rice stood firm in her belief that real problems shouldn't be buried under political drama. And it wasn't just the audience who noticed. The energy in the room changed. Joy Behar, usually quick to jump in, stayed quiet. Even Whoopi Goldberg, often the calm center of the show, didn't interrupt. Everyone could feel it. This wasn't business as usual. Top of form.
The way that we're talking about race is that it either seems so big that somehow white people now have to feel guilty for everything.
And Ana Navarro, her nervous smile said it all. When Condoleezza Rice took control of the conversation, the usual chaos that The View feeds on came to a pause. It wasn't just that Rice made a strong argument, it was the way she did it. No. Raised voice, no flashy lines. She calmly laid out the facts, pointing out that issues like inflation, gas prices, and the rising cost of living deserve the spotlight. The panel wasn't ready for her calm strength. They were caught off guard by how effective her measured, logical tone was. In that moment, Rice didn't silence the room with volume. She did it with reason. What played out between Condoleezza Rice and Sunny Hostin wasn't just a personality clash. It reflected something much bigger: the way media tends to handle political discussions. Too often, shows like The View focus on drama, conflict, and headlines from the past, instead of what's affecting Americans today. Rice called out that pattern without even needing to say it directly. She didn't dwell on January 6th or play into political theater. She redirected the conversation to the real-life challenges people face every day: the cost of living, job stability, and economic pressure. In doing so, she revealed a major flaw in how these conversations usually go. The media's obsession with controversy often sidelines the issues that matter most. Rice reminded everyone that while history has its place, it shouldn't overshadow what people are going through right now. Her appearance wasn't just a political moment. It was a much-needed reminder of what real leadership looks like. In the end, her time on The View became more than just a segment. It was a lesson in how to shift the narrative from drama to substance, and the impact was impossible to ignore.
Parents ought to have a say. We used to have parent-teacher conferences. We used to have PTAs. There are lots of ways for parents to be involved, and they should be. My parents never thought I was going to grow up in a world without prejudice, but they also told me that's somebody else's.
One thing became clear. This was a defining moment for both Condoleezza Rice and Sunny Hostin. Rice didn't just shut down the conversation. She shifted the tone of the entire discussion. For Hostin, who's known for quick interruptions and bold statements, this was a rare moment where her usual style didn't land. In contrast, Rice's calm presence and sharp focus on real issues made Hostin's performative outrage feel out of place. This wasn't just a political disagreement. It was a reminder of a bigger shift happening in the media. While The View often leans into controversy and sound bites, Rice brought something different: clarity, calm, and a focus on what truly matters. Her words left viewers with something deeper to consider. The media's obsession with drama and headlines doesn't reflect the real concerns of everyday Americans. Rice's moment on the show wasn't just powerful, it was a wake-up call. Not just for Sunny Hostin, but for the media as a whole.